What is leaky gut syndrome and should you get tested for it? Well, I'm going to answer that in this video. So about a quarter of the general adult population here in America, and it's probably very similar in Australia, Europe, everywhere else, first world countries, have at least one digestive disorder. The bigger issue is that a lot of the symptoms always overlap each other. So just because you have stomach pain or bloating, or you're carrying 5 or 10 pounds extra weight around the belly that you can't get rid of, any of these things fit a whole range of different, not just gut disorders, but overall health disorders. And so it's very hard for doctors to be able to make a diagnosis just off these symptoms. And this is why testing for leaky gut is so important, because when we look at this really good 2019 cohort study that looked at 7 million patients in a particular commercial insurance group, they found that 4 of the 5 most prevalent symptoms of digestive disorders, these very what's called diffuse symptoms, they're not obvious things. Abdominal pain was the most common. That was in about 44% of all patients who had gut problems. Second was GERD. This was the next most common. 15% of people had that. So it makes it very hard for a doctor to really go in and work out what testing needs to be done. So you end up getting a whole range of tests being thrown at you. And unless you have a true pathology, like in something like ulcerative colitis or colon cancer or something like that, you normally end up with an umbrella style diagnosis. Something like irritable bowel syndrome, which is really just a big catch-all box. If you have digestive problems and we can't find a pathology, we throw you into that. That doesn't really help people get the answers they need. So in my opinion, we need to get away from chasing symptoms. And when we know there's gut symptoms there, we need to test for 2 things. First, let's test the level of leaky gut damage, because if you're having gut symptoms, there's almost certainly leaky gut issues. Then number 2, we can go and test for what we think the root causes are based on how much damage shows up on the leaky gut testing and the symptoms, because from those, we can normally work out a pretty good idea of what we're looking at. For example, does someone have parasites, mold toxicity, or mold exposure, heavy metal toxicity, something like that. So why do we want to do it this way? Well, in a healthy gut, we have all these digestive enzymes in the mouth and the stomach that break food down into tiny, tiny molecules, and they pass through these tiny, tiny gaps in the intestinal wall that are called tight junctions. Those tight junctions open and close a little bit depending on how much zonulin and other molecules the body produces that tells those walls to open up. How much or how healthy our microbiome is also gives some protection and also helps tell the gut how much it should open or not. Then when things pass through that intestinal or gut barrier, they get through into the bloodstream and move around the body. This becomes a problem when those tight junctions open up, and now we're letting all sorts of molecules in through that lining that shouldn't be there, and the body now has to send a huge immune response to that gut lining, and it's there all the time. Think about like back in the old days with a castle. If you had a strong castle and a moat, you could have your guards up top with their bow and arrows and you would probably be pretty safe. But if you had holes in the castle wall and you had to keep sending your defenders there, they're eventually going to get tired and fatigued and worn down. So that's why leaky gut drives so many autoimmune problems, because we start getting all this stuff come in these much wider junctions than the tight junctions they should be. Then this leads to a ton of different symptoms. And if you listen to some of these symptoms, you'll see why we want to know it's leaky gut, but not really bother trying to chase other things yet, because it could be anything. Bloating, gas, diarrhea, constipation, food sensitivities. And that's why I often argue food sensitivity testing is a complete waste of time until you heal a leaky gut issue. Headaches, brain fog, loss of concentration and focus, skin reactions, anxiety and depression, hormone imbalances, joint pain like rheumatoid and other autoimmune problems, fatigue, chronic fatigue syndrome, thyroid issues, all of them often come about from this leaky gut. Hey there, if you're struggling with gut health, I just wanted to let you know about my free Facebook gut health support group. You'll see it on the screen here. Just click the link and you can join that. We cover all sorts of more in-depth tips on what testing to do, how to deal with underlying biotoxins, things like that. So jump in the group. I'd love to have you in there. Anyway, back to the video. So again, you have these symptoms. What do? You go and test for leaky gut to confirm A, that's what's going on and how much damage there is. And then B, now we go and look at the root causes. And then when we find out what's causing the leaky gut, parasites, mold, Lyme disease, whatever it is, or whatever combination it is. Now we can treat that root cause, then we can worry about healing the gut. Because if we don't pull out the mycotoxins from the mold or destroy all the parasites that are in the gut, you can try and treat and heal the leaky gut, but it's just going to come back on. So we've got to get rid of those root causes first. You'll immediately start to feel better. The gut will already start to heal quite well, but then you can supercharge it by helping rebalance that microbiome. A lot of anti-inflammatory foods, so stay away from sugars and chemicals and food dyes and lectins if you're a plant-based eater. If you're a carnivore eater, try and eat grass-fed meat instead of all the hormone and antibiotic and fueled and corn and grain fed animals. Then we also want to be getting a lot of prebiotic food and some good prebiotic supplements and some targeted probiotics depending on what you're missing. There's also some really good herbal remedies that have been shown to have some great leaky gut healing properties, like slippery elm, licorice, and chamomile. The reason that these can often help is they're high in tannins, and tannins seem to have an anti-inflammatory property to them. Also, berberine is great, L-glutamine is great for healing the gut wall, omega-3 supplementation has been shown to help a lot. They all seem to help heal the mucus lining. Then if you're also replenishing the microbiome through your prebiotics and a healthier, more diverse diet, now the gut is going to stay healed as long as you've removed those root causes. So if you're suffering from gut issues, please don't accept diagnoses like IBS. And even if you're not, or you don't know you're suffering from a gut issue, but you're suffering from any autoimmune problem, any thyroid problem, any anxiety or depression, you need to go and check what level of leaky gut is going on, because you can be almost certain there is some. It's just a matter of how much, which will then decide what specific testing you're going to do to get to those root causes of it. Now, once you've finished this video, if you are someone who has been taking just some daily probiotics and thinking you'll heal the gut that way, go and watch my video on why you shouldn't just take a daily probiotic. And I know I said in this video, you can use probiotics to help heal the gut, but they need to be targeted. You need to have done testing to see which strains you need, and you need to be doing it after you've removed the root causes and started to heal the gut first. So if you've got any questions, leave a comment on this video. I always try and answer every single comment, and at least I can't give you medical advice over a YouTube comment, but I can at least point you in the right direction of where you should go looking next. Thank you so much for your attention, and I'll see you again soon.